I used to think working harder would eventually make me wealthy. I believed if I worked more hours, stayed loyal to my job, and kept chasing bigger paychecks, everything would finally fall into place. But every time I earned more money, my life got more expensive too. Better phone, better car, bigger bills, and somehow I still felt broke. The worst part was watching other people move ahead while I stayed stuck. Friends were buying houses, some were investing, others were building businesses online. Meanwhile, I was tired, stressed, and always waiting for the right time to start building wealth. For years, I thought I had more time. I told myself I would invest later, save later, learn later, but later turned into years. And that fear slowly started to grow inside me, the fear that maybe I was already too late. Then I asked myself one hard question. If I had to restart today with only $500 in my bank account, what would I do differently? That question changed everything. Because the truth is, building wealth is not about looking rich. It is not about working yourself to death either. It is about following the right rules early enough. And in this video, I will show you the exact wealth rules I would follow before wasting another decade of my life. Because the truth is, most workers do not stay poor because they earn too little. They stay poor because nobody taught them the rules. Rule Lesson 1. Income alone will never make you wealthy. For a long time, I believed a bigger paycheck would solve all my money problems. I thought wealth came from working more hours, getting promoted, and earning more every year. But the truth hit me hard one day. Income alone does not create wealth. Most workers live on active income only. That means if they stop working, the money stops too. And that becomes dangerous over time because bills never stop. Prices never stop rising. Life keeps getting more expensive every single year. A lot of people look rich because they earn good money. But behind the scenes, they are trapped. Big salary, big car payment, big rent, big stress. They work hard just to keep up with the life they built around their paycheck. Wealthy people think differently. Instead of only working for money, they buy things that make money for them. Assets, stocks, businesses, real estate. Things that can grow even while they sleep. That is the difference between a salary mindset and an ownership mindset. Salary mindset says, I need to work more to earn more. An ownership mindset says, how do I make my money work for me? And this matters more today than ever before because inflation quietly destroys savings. The money sitting in your bank account loses value every year. So even if you are saving, you can still fall behind. That is why so many workers reach retirement tired and scared. They worked for decades, but never built anything that could pay them back. Their job paid them for years and still left them broke at the end. The goal is not just to earn money. The goal is to own things that keep growing long after the work is done. So if income alone is not enough, the next rule becomes critical. Rule Eshe 2. Invest before you feel ready. One of the biggest mistakes I made was waiting to feel ready before investing. I kept telling myself I needed to learn more first. I watched videos, read books, and listened to podcasts for years. I thought I was being smart, but deep down I was just scared. Scared of losing money, scared of making the wrong move, scared of starting too small. So I waited, and while I waited, time kept moving. That is the part most workers do not understand. Investing is not about being a genius. It is about giving your money time to grow. The people who win are not always the smartest people. They are usually the people who started early and stayed consistent. Compounding rewards time, not perfection. A person who invests a small amount early can end up with more money than someone who starts big later in life. That is how powerful time really is. Genuat balak which to vayacha always prefetch I2. Even small investments matter. $50, $100, $200. It may feel tiny at first, but small money grows into big money when you give it enough years. Most people never start because they think they need thousands of dollars. That is a lie. What you really need is the habit of investing again and again, even when the amount feels small. I wasted years trying to become ready. And honestly, that delay cost me more money than any bad investment ever could. Because every year you wait is a year your money does not grow. The truth is, you will never feel fully ready. There will always be fear. There will always be risk. But waiting too long can become the biggest risk of all. And that leads to one of the biggest traps workers fall into. Rule 3. Lifestyle inflation is destroying your future. One of the fastest ways people stay broke is by upgrading their lifestyle every time they make more money. A raise comes in, and suddenly the spending grows too. Better apartment, new car, expensive clothes, more eating out, more subscriptions, more monthly payments. At first, it feels like success. You finally feel rewarded for all your hard work. But slowly, those upgrades become traps. Because now your bigger paycheck has bigger pressure attached to it. This is what lifestyle inflation does. It takes extra income that could build your future and turns it into new expenses that keep you stuck. I have seen people double their income and still struggle every month, not because they earn too little, but because their lifestyle grows faster than their wealth. Some people earn six figures and still live paycheck to paycheck. That is crazy when you really think about it. A lot of workers spend money trying to look rich instead of becoming rich. They buy things to impress people who are usually too busy worrying about their own lives anyway. And social pressure makes it worse. You see people online traveling, shopping, driving luxury cars, and living flashy lives. So you feel like you need to keep up. You feel behind if your life does not look the same. But wealthy people often think differently. Instead of spending every raise, they invest more of it. They use extra income to buy assets, reduce debt, and create freedom for the future. They understand something most workers miss. Every dollar you waste today is a worker you no longer have building your future tomorrow. That does not mean you can never enjoy your money. It just means you should stop turning every success into another bill. Because real wealth is not about looking successful for one moment. It is about creating a life where money stops controlling you. This is why wealthy people obsess over one thing most workers ignore. Rule 4. Protect your cash flow like your life depends on it. Most people think freedom comes from making more money, but real freedom comes from needing less money every month to survive. That is why cash flow matters so much. Cash flow is simple. It is the money you have left after paying your bills every month. And if all your income disappears the moment an emergency happens, you are not financially safe, no matter how much you earn. I learned this the hard way. There was a time when almost every dollar I made was already promised to something else. Rent, car payment, debt, subscriptions, bills. I looked stable on the outside, but one bad month could have destroyed everything. That is why emergency funds matter. Life is unpredictable. Jobs disappear. Cars break down. People get sick. Emergencies do not ask for permission before showing up. And when you have no savings, every problem becomes a crisis. Bad debt makes this even worse. A lot of workers are trapped by payments they can no longer afford. Credit cards, loans, expensive lifestyle habits. The more debt grows, the less freedom you have. That is why wealthy people pay close attention to their monthly burn rate. They know exactly how much money they need to survive every month, and they work hard to keep that number under control. Because the less money you need every month, the freer you become. You can leave bad jobs faster. You can take smarter risks. You can invest more money into your future instead of sending it all toward bills. Flexibility is power. A person with low expenses and strong savings has more peace than someone earning twice as much but drowning in debt. That is the part most workers never realize. It is not only about how much you make, it is about how much pressure your life puts on your income. But even smart savers stay stuck if they ignore this next rule. Rule 5. Multiple income streams are no longer optional. For a long time, people believed one good job was enough to build a safe life. That world is changing fast. Today, one income source can disappear overnight. Companies downsize, layoffs happen, recessions hit. And now, even technology and AI are replacing jobs that once looked secure. A lot of workers are depending on a single paycheck to hold their entire life together. That is dangerous because most people are one lost paycheck away from panic. One emergency, one company decision, one bad month. That is all it takes for everything to start falling apart. That is why multiple income streams matter more than ever before. You do not need 10 businesses. You do not need to become rich overnight. But you do need more than one way to make money. That could mean starting a small side business, freelancing online, selling digital products, investing in stocks that pay dividends, creating content, learning a skill you can use outside your main job. The goal is simple. You want money coming in from different places so your future does not depend on one employer. Wealthy people understand this early. They build layers of income over time, and slowly those extra streams create stability, freedom, and peace of mind. At first, the extra income may feel small. Maybe it only pays one bill. Maybe it only covers groceries. But small streams can grow into powerful ones when you stay consistent. And something important changes when you stop relying on one paycheck. Fear starts to lose control over your life. You stop feeling trapped at work. You stop panicking over every bad economy headline. You stop feeling helpless every time the world changes. Because now you have options. And in today's economy, options are power. Most workers wait until they are desperate before building another income stream. But the best time to build one is before you actually need it. And finally, the rule I wish someone forced me to understand earlier. Rule Escher 6. Time is more important than talent. When it comes to building wealth, most people think success belongs to the smartest people. But that is not true. In many cases, the people who build the most wealth are simply the people who started earlier and stayed consistent longer. Time is the real advantage, not talent, not luck, not even a huge income. Time. I used to believe I could catch up later. I thought I had plenty of years left. But one day I looked back and realized how much time I had wasted waiting, delaying, and starting over. And that regret hits hard. Because money lost can sometimes be earned again, but wasted years never come back. The scariest part about wasted financial years is that you never get them back. That is why compound growth matters so much. Money needs time to grow. The earlier you start investing, saving, and building assets, the easier the journey becomes later. Genuine math, batwajwat, always prefetch E2 content. A small amount invested for 20 years can beat a large amount invested for 5 years. That is the power of time working quietly in the background. And sadly, many workers lose their best wealth-building years without even knowing it. They spend decades only surviving, paying bills, chasing bigger paychecks, delaying important decisions. Then suddenly they wake up feeling behind. But here is the good news. It is not too late. As long as you are alive, you still have time to change direction. You still have time to learn better habits. You still have time to start building wealth one step at a time. But waiting longer only makes the climb harder. Every year matters now. Every smart decision matters now. Every investment matters now. You do not need to become rich overnight. You just need to stop wasting the time you still have left. So if you still have time, use it. Final close plus urgency CTA. At the end of the day, nobody is coming to rescue your finances. Not your job, not the government, not some perfect moment in the future. Your future changes when you decide to change it. And the good news is this. You do not need to fix your whole life overnight. Small steps still matter. A small investment matters. A small savings habit matters. Learning one new skill matters. Because small actions repeated for years can completely change your future. The biggest mistake is thinking you still have endless time. You do not. 5 years will pass either way. The question is simple. Will you still be stuck in the same place 5 years from now? Or will you finally build the life you keep thinking about? Because the people who build wealth are not always smarter than everyone else. They just start before everyone else. They start scared. They start small, but they start. And years later, that decision changes everything. So take this seriously. Protect your money. Invest earlier. Stop trying to look rich. Build income streams. Buy assets. Give your future a chance before more time slips away. And if this video helped you, subscribe to the channel because we talk about money, freedom, and the real rules most people never learn until it is too late. Also, comment below and tell me which rule hit you the hardest. And if you are serious about building wealth from a normal paycheck, watch the next video on your screen right now. It might save you years of financial mistakes.